Immigration, hot button topic, man, controversial. Naturally, it seemed like a good topic for this channel. People get mad in a hurry when you start talking about immigration, and I'm going to try to see this from both sides because I can see it from both sides. I myself am an immigrant. My parents brought me from covered station wagon from the great state of Nebraska down through the Midwest, breadbasket of America. And we came down to the Ozark Mountains. That's where they brought us. Barely knew the language. We went from what are you talking about to we're fixing to, y'all need to be fixing to get ready. I didn't understand this barely at all. Because when you assimilate, you have to do as the natives do. There's still this kind of immigration goes on. Californians are immigrating to Austin, Texas. They're going to regret that one. Both of them. But more to the point, we're talking about natural immigration. Coming from a different country to this country, vice versa. And it's happening. Ever hear the passport bros? We're going to cover that in a later video. Stay in the course. People coming over the southern border of America, and there's other people that have a problem with it. Now, if you're looking for a better life and a better opportunity for your family, I have no problem with that. Because my family did that literally, I don't know, centuries ago, 2 centuries ago. They came over on boats. I know some of them came from Ireland, escaping famine, and I know some of them came over on a boat from Germany. Didn't speak a lick of English and didn't have a penny to their names. Stowed away, I believe, was the story I got anyway. Like illegally riding the boat to illegally get to America. Then we got to start talking about what is illegal and what isn't. Why is this such a concern? I mean, what difference is it going to make if you have, quote unquote, the proper identification? But I don't even have driver's licenses. Why do you need a license to drive? A driver is someone who hauls freight or persons for a fee. I don't have any problem with it until you get in an accident. Then I probably have a problem with it. Well, I don't even pay taxes. Why is that a problem? By the supreme law of the land, taxes are only, at the federal level at least, taxes are only to be paid in times of conflict, and even then, only for a maximum of 2 years. That's in the U.S. Constitution. Those that like to shout that out, that's constitutional rights, and yeah, my constitutional rights. You should probably read the document and see what it says in there, because your constitutional rights are being violated daily. Anyway, once again, I'm straying from the topic, and that's immigration. Is it immigration? Technically, yes. Is there an invasion happening? Huh. Well, thanks for your service. Oops. There are ways that you can find out the difference between the two. Immigration usually has to do with you bring the wife and kids for a better opportunity, for what's better for your family. Invasion, you usually leave the wife and kids at home. Oops. The problem lies when you start coming here and you refuse to assimilate and you want to draw benefits. Now, if you're not paying taxes, you shouldn't be drawing any benefits. But they're getting a benefit just coming over the border. I believe it's $2,300. And you get a cell phone. That cell phone, if I was one of those folks, I'd make that disappear just right fast. Another interesting thing is apparently the coyotes have taken over it, these cartels. And you have to pay the cartel, and that's anywhere between $10,000 to $12,000 is the common number I'm hearing. I've heard numbers up to $40,000. What I want to know is if you're looking for a better outcome for your family, how do these people have $10,000, let alone $40,000? But we saw that earlier, see. Somebody's behind us. Now, I have been an immigrant. I've never been in a caravan that I can remember, but I do know a few things about them. And one of those things is for a caravan to be able to succeed and get where they're going, they either have to bring provisions with them or they have to be given to them along the way. That means food, water, medical care. Who's providing this? Where's it coming from? And why? Now, a news clip was released a little while ago. There's a certain, I don't know, we're just going to wing it. Certain Chinese faction, they're actually being told exactly where to stay, en route, what motels, what places to shop at, step by step by step along the way. Are those people immigrating for a better life? Also, interestingly, I saw a massive influx of immigrants in the early 2000s to the area where I live at now in the Ozark Mountains. And what they found out when the economy crumbled in 2008, 2009, and the housing boom went bust, they skedaddled on back to their place of origin. I don't believe those folks were looking for a better way of life. Otherwise, why would they leave? You just stay here. This is your home, your new home, right? But the other side of immigration, what about California? California was taken from the Mexicans in the 1800s, and every American that went to California, which in essence was Mexico, Spanish territory, every one of them was an immigrant who did not speak the language. They didn't know the customs. That goes for California. That goes for the entire Southwest. And really, that goes for all of America. Wasn't it the natives that, quote unquote, owned that land? So if you're not playing by the rules and you're not paying taxes, the tax part I don't really have much of a problem with on the federal level. Again, that's the law of the land. Nobody should be paying federal taxes. Be that as it may, if you're not paying into it, you shouldn't be able to draw out of it at any time for any reason. But these people are drawing out of it just as soon as they enter the country with the aforementioned $2,300. I thought about making the loop myself a couple times. So what kind of services are we talking about? We're talking about public school system. We're talking about hospitals. We're talking about voting. Obviously, they're not going to be around for jury duty. Food stamps, any kind of Section 8 housing or other, I don't know what they would deem it, any kind of shelter costs. If you haven't paid into the system, you shouldn't be able to draw it out. That's just my opinion. In theory, I've heard it argued that there's a replacement going on and that eventually people of the white, in theory, race will be replaced by people of a different skin color. I don't have to worry about that. My skin is beige. I'm off the hook. I suppose it could be done. Anything can be done if somebody's pushing that agenda hard enough. There's also a voter aspect of it, where in exchange for this, remember who brought you, remember who made it happen. I don't believe the immigrants care. I don't believe they're here for that reason. How come there's not an invasion of the northern border? What's going on up there? I think I'd be about ready to get out of Canada if it was me, from what I hear is the things that are going on up there. But I never quite understood the flight. Myself, I'm going down with the ship, baby. And she's going down. But I'm going to ride her down to the finish, just like Titanic. And that's okay. I understand it for what it is. I have no problem with it. The trouble with that is, I'm an older guy. These young people who are starting out haven't had the opportunity to live life like I had it. And that's a real concern. That isn't fair to them. I can sit all I want to and talk about, I don't much care. Let her fall, I don't much care. But the young people that are coming up, they haven't had the opportunities that I had, just like I didn't have those opportunities that those that came before me had. Say people in the 1950s. The most robust economy the world had ever seen. I didn't have those kind of opportunities. Manufacturing jobs left and right. Pay commensurate with productivity. I didn't have those. It had already split off. It split off by 1972. But somehow the big brains along the way in certain cities and states across the United States of America have come up with designated themselves sanctuary cities, where, like, you can come here, it's safe here for you, nobody's going to be pounding on your door in the middle of the night. And isn't it interesting that those same cities now, dealing with a busing influx of these new citizens to our great nation, they have a massive problem with it now because the infrastructure can't support it. Did you happen to see the clip of all those that were bused to Cape Cod? Was it Cape Cod? Wherever the Kennedys have their little playground at. And man, they shipped them right out of there so fast that the people on that bus were probably, we just got off the bus. How come we got to get back on it? To another town. Because those in the sanctuary cities speak out of one side of their mouth, but where the rubber meets the road, oh, we don't want those people here. Isn't that fascinating? The whole dynamic is fascinating. And you're seeing the intentional destruction of a nation and a way of life. And that right there is the trouble with that. I mean, that's implicit in its own. And I think that was the only way it could be brought down, honestly. Financial collapse and destroyed from within. That's how great the power once was. Amazing blessings we've been given in this country. The most diverse natural resources perhaps in the world. And such a massive, massive amount of land. People don't realize now, because we have the automobile and we have the airplane, it seems like people don't realize how huge this nation is. And so you have all these diverse climates, all these diverse ways of making a living, diversity of people. Isn't that what made America great? I guess it depends on what they're coming for and what they're going to do once they're here. You can put your comments in the comment section if you want. I always enjoy reading them. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next time.